Ruth Bader Ginsburg, U.S. Supreme Court Justice, passed at 87. 5 battles with cancer during her term. Rest in peace. #X200B, edit, lol. The dozens of you commenting messaging me saying how her passing is somehow a victory for the Republicans or Trump should take a long, hard look at yourselves. Damn, it's like she had a war with cancer, seriously though, rip. When she was 17 her mother died of cancer. When she was going to law school she was caring for her husband while he had cancer. That was one hell of a war that took her. It took pretty nasty one to end the war to pancreatic, also known as the ear duct cancer. And a shit year to die on too. She couldn't socialize freely or visit her favorite shops and restaurants. On top of that, one of her last words was a concern over the direction of the country and what her death would mean. She deserved to go in a better setting. I am sad for the timing, but I am truly convinced that she was staying alive out of sheer willpower for the past few months. She was a goddamn soldier. Man, to me it seems like she survived out of sheer sass and willpower for years at this point. What a powerful person. She championed a road to progress. Pick up the torch and keep that flame alive. Duck. Yup. 6-3 for a generation. At least Gorsuch and Roberts aren't terribly partisan, so Teresa Chance will have some votes go okay. I'm not American, what does this mean for you guys? Republicans fought tooth and nail to prevent a Supreme Court justice being appointed in an election year 4 years ago. Time to see hypocrisy of the highest order from McConnell. And not a single conservative will care. No matter how far the courts are stacked. He already said, last year I believe, that if a vacancy popped up in 2020 he would fill it. He confirmed just now he'll bring it to a vote. Haha, of course he already has. He confirmed it in his eulogy for her. Damn, that's cold-blooded even for him. In the ducking eulogy. He didn't even wait that long. That's like reading the will the second after the casket lowers. While during the funeral talking over the preacher. My most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed. RBG to her granddaughter. Rest in peace. Good luck with that. Mitch McConnell is a ballsack with eyes. Hey, that's an insult to ballsacks. It's too bad all we can see in the Supreme Court is the D or R when it shouldn't matter. Justice is no longer blind. Exactly. The cases should be judged on its merits, not down party allegiances. Sadly, that isn't the case. Judges should be independents, not party affiliated. There are actually real philosophical differences between conservative and progressives about judges. It's not just my policies are good, and your are bad, though it sometimes is. It's also a real disagreement about what courts are for. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the public just thinks that the Supreme Court is more of the same, Democrats versus Republicans. These are extremely intelligent people appointed for life. They don't have to be worried that someone will fire them if they don't vote the right way. Read the actual cases and you will see well-constructed, well-thought-out arguments. The Supremes are the best of what politics should be. People with admiration and respect for each other that can also disagree, not just "oh, you're this party so duck you." Not to mention a willingness to cross the supposed party line if any individual believes in whatever the issue is. They have nothing to lose by doing so. Scalia and RBG were opposites in their political views and were great friends. It can be done. Don't believe all the divisive bullshit. It's not that hard to respect the opinions of others and also fight for whatever you believe in. Yeah, a mega thread is probably best for this. Rip to her. On AskReddit. This way mods have a blanket excuse to purge the inevitable wave of now that RBG has passed. Will the Supreme Court ban Delphine selling bathwater type of ignorant shitposts? There's a lot of disrespect in this thread, and would it be too unreasonable to have more reverence to this comments in this post? Regardless of what side of the aisle you support, this was an intelligent, resilient, and wise woman. She gave judgments that benefited both sides and fought hard so she could retire peacefully in dignity. 40 years serving from the bench and she battled cancer 5 times. People. There's no reason to fight her spirit now too. No matter which party you support, you can admire her spirit to show up and deliver sound judgments. Give credit to her will to fight for liberty for all. She was not infallible, she was human. Like you, she made mistakes. It's been 10 years, she's served the US well, and I hope she will meet her husband again. RIP. What next? Haven't we had enough for 1 year already? Well, Breyer is 82. Yeah, every death is a loss. If Trump wins, I wonder if that will lead to a 4th or 5th nomination. That's absolutely what's at stake. A super majority. Can you imagine one token Democrat? Why even bother at that point? Entirely possible at that point for Thomas to resign and be appointed. He might still do that before the end of the year. Not in a ducking election year, Mitch, you rat-fink motherfucker. Mitch has, depending on your political stance, done far more damage than Trump. It really shouldn't depend on political stance for this. Seems fairly objective. Her body isn't even cold yet. Mitch McConnell confirms court nominee will get Senate vote. I genuinely believe McConnell will go down as the worst Senate majority leader the country has ever had. Not even because he's Republican, he genuinely does not care about anyone or anything besides the people who put him in power and keep him there. Imagine being a lawmaker for the people and caring more about confirming a justice that will very likely spit on LGBT rights, women's rights, all sorts of civil rights, than voting on legislation that would give direct stimulus to the American people during one of the greatest economic disasters the country may have ever been in. So far. The worst so far. Seriously, though, I will forever have no respect for anyone who supports his hypocrisy. All politics aside. She was an extraordinary human being who did extraordinary things. RIP Justice Ginsburg. I hate how the coverage of this will focus on her replacement rather than on her. It's also disrespectful. Her final statement was about her replacement. Not allowing another hard-right justice on the SCOTUS was the most important thing to her at the end of her life. This is what she wanted, for us to not sit by as Republicans stack the court for the next 40 years. She's earned her rest. I wish she could have held on a little longer, but this woman fought hard for our rights and endured much on a personal level. RIP. Edit, thank you for the silver. Why is this in AskReddit? No hate, but curious. It's so the sub doesn't get filled with threads about it. One big one for the discussion that's gonna happen anyways. For those who aren't aware, tonight is the start of the Jewish New Year. There is an old tradition that at this time of year God opens his book. During the days between the New Year and Yom Kippur, Jews pray for atonement and pledge to do better in the following year, and on Yom Kippur God enters the names of those who have truly atoned in the book, and seals it for a year. Those whose names are sealed will live for at least another year. So for someone to die on the very last day of the year means that God judged that person very highly. It's an old story tradition from the Middle Ages, and I doubt anyone literally believes this now, but it seems like the perfect ending to her life. This is quite comforting, thank you. While I completely understand how important this is, doesn't this violate the rules due to the lack of a question mark? Asking the real questions. McConnell in 2016 under Obama, because Scalia's seat had become vacant during an election year, the Senate would not even consider a nomination from the president. McConnell in 2020 under Trump, Trump's nominee for Bader's replacement will get the Senate's support. Declared immediately after RBG's death, McConnell is a shameless snake. What are his motivations? Why do Republicans respond well to their representative playing the system? What can America do to stop a party from playing with people in order to gain control longer than welcomed? Why don't Republicans and lawmakers see that this is a dangerous game? Republicans are fine with it because it accomplishes their goals. Democrats are scared of doing the same because the Democratic Party doesn't have a singular platform or set of goals. The right is pretty united in all duck the left things. The Democratic Party is also united in all duck the left things. With the Republicans having the Senate majority required to seat a new Supreme Court justice, what things could prevent Trump from picking the next justice? Nothing. The left has no cards to play. They can complain, but that's literally it. Biden can come out saying if the Senate pushes a judge through before election, he will expand the court during his presidency. That's all the left can do.